Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Nick Lynn and I am back with yet another tutorial for you. And in today's tutorial, I'm gonna be doing a style that I've actually never done on my channel before. So I'm gonna be doing 6 feed-in braids with 2 curly buns at the bottom. And to spice it up a little bit, we're gonna be using the color 613, which is a platinum blonde. So before we fully jump into the tutorial, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so that you don't miss any further tutorials. And if you really love learning new styles, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up because it helps me make more content just like this. So today, my client is yet another longtime client of mine, and I'm really just grateful for, the opportunities that I get to meet with my clients over and over again. So shout out to her, and I'm so happy that she let me record as well. As I told you in last week's video, almost every style that I do, chances are I am going to start in the middle. To me, this gives me the best foundation for doing feed-in braids, and I even do this with my knotless as well. So for me, I like to start in the middle and work my way out or part my rows, whatever I'm doing. And if you've been watching my channel for any length of time now, you know that I am a big fan of pre-parting, even when it comes to straight backs. I like to know what I'm doing. I like to see it all laid out before I actually commit. And so I'm gonna go ahead and just tuck this section away. There's no rhyme or reason. I just do whatever feels best to me in the moment. For this, I just decided to roll the sections back and clip them at the bottom. So now that you see from this angle here, let me give you a little pro tip. So when you're parting your straight backs, one of the things that I notice has helped me tremendously is to kind of really take in account the curvature of my client's head. So I like to just let my comb just kind of run from their hairline all the way back to the nape. I really try to capture their curvature. I feel like that's what makes it look more natural for them and fit their face structure and all of those things. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix up my part just a bit and then tuck this part back as well. And just so you know, I am using the Neat Braid Gel. It is my go-to for almost all of my styles. Sometimes I might use Shine and Jam, but that's typically if my client has thinner hair. I like to use something that's a little lighter on their hair. But for this style today, her hair is very thick in the root, and so the Neat Braid is what I find works best for me. I've definitely been seeing on Instagram, that there's obviously other gels out there. I'm the type of person that once I find something that works for me, it's really hard for me to try something new. So if you know of any other gel that works really well for you, or maybe there's a gel that you want to even see me try, go ahead and drop it in the comments, and maybe that will encourage me and inspire me to try something else. But I'm just the type of person that if it's not broke, don't fix it. So if I find something that works, I will use it continuously. So this is a little sped up here, but I'm not doing anything differently than what I would normally do when I am doing my stitch braids. So I'm gonna break down a 3-part process for you because I do the same thing every time. So there is a 3-part process that I'm always going to do. First, I'm gonna mold the section. Then I'm gonna split off a horizontal line, creating my base where I'm gonna start the braid. And then the third step is I'm going to split that section down the middle. Using the tail end of your comb is perfect for this. Now take notice, I'm always going to braid that base down at least 3 to 5 times before I start pulling in my stitches. So So now that I have my first stitch pulled in, I'm gonna add a piece of hair, but I want you to take notice of how small that piece is. So you do not have to overload your strands when you're adding them. You always wanna make sure that the strand of hair that you're adding in is always gonna be a little bit smaller than the strand that you are adding it underneath, okay? And I want you to also take notice that if you stay steady and you stay consistent, the color will begin to build itself. And so I'm really just gonna repeat the same steps all the way down. And look at this braid. You could absolutely see how the color began to build itself. The 613 is definitely showing, and that's exactly what we wanted. So now for the curly pieces, I'm gonna be using the free twist deep twist. And this was an ombre, so it was like an OT 613. And I didn't want the darker part of the curly hair to be prominent. So I added it in pretty close to the base of the braid. And then I made sure to tuck it behind the blonde so that there wasn't too much black coming all the way through the braid. Now, of course, you can do as many pieces as you wanna do. I just figured about 3 to 4 pieces per braid of the curly hair would do for each braid. And then I just went ahead and I added a roller right to the bottom of the braid itself so that the bottom of the braid would also have a curled effect as well. And so I'm literally gonna do the same exact steps for the rest of the style. So I'll go ahead and let you watch the video. And you can just watch the braids come together. They really are beautiful braids. So make sure that you watch until the end because I will come back and I'll tell you step by step of how to do these ponytails. And again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you're enjoying this content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We are pushing towards 91K, somewhere in there. So the road to 100K is official. And I just am so grateful for the family that we are building. So listen, go ahead, watch the rest of the video. I'll come back on when it's time for the ponytails. Okay, so anytime that I'm doing the buns in the back, which I don't really do them that often, but when I do get them, I do like to put a little mousse or a little bit of oil at the nape of the neck because I want to make sure that that area is not too tight. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some oil sheen because I really want to make sure that the nape of her neck is comfortable. I want to avoid irritation at all costs. So just another thing to keep in mind when you are doing these type of buns, even when you're just doing your braids, period. Irritation forms very easily in this section. So once you get to the back, sometimes it's just nice to just loosen up because you want your clients to be comfortable from day one. And I think you could even see here, I'm asking her like, is she okay? Because again, I want to just make sure. So feel free to ask your clients questions as you're going through the style, just to make sure that they are not experiencing any discomfort while you're doing their hair. Also, another thing that I do is I don't put the rubber band right up to the nape. I start the rubber band down just a little bit further. So now, of course, there are 101 ways to do a bun, I'm sure, but you really just have to figure out what works for you. You may have to play around with it a little bit, but the main thing is making sure that it's going to stay. So of course you want to know that your foundation is secure. And that's just what I'm trying to do here. I wanted the buns to have more of a curly look. So I just wanted to create a foundation that I could kind of like fan the curly hair over the foundation of the bun. So I decided to start trimming a little bit of the curly hair so that I didn't have too much hair to work with, because sometimes the more hair you have to work with, the more difficult it is. So I wanted to make it more manageable for myself, and it was also giving it some shape. So it really did shape out really nice, and I just used my shears to just start slide cutting on an angle. And then once I did that, I was just able to wrap up the curly hair around the bun with another rubber band. And that's it. This is the style. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. The style is absolutely beautiful. One of my favorite styles that I've done in a long time. I think she was going to like a bachelorette party or something like that, a bridal party. So I'm pretty sure it was probably so fitting for the event, and it really was the perfect style for the occasion. So guys, again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. Please go ahead and leave a comment, subscribe, like the video. Let me know if this is a style you would try. So of course, I hope to talk to you in the next video. And as always, God bless.